So hey guys, the tryout duel is probably coming out soon. So I was thinking to myself the other day, what is the dumbest thing I could possibly play that would put my opponent the most on edge if they saw me going first and then I pass back to them? How could I cause the most mental anguish? Sure, you could play something like, I don't know, like Snake Eyes, and that'd be boring, right? Like, oh, my opponent's playing Snake Eyes, and I can fully see how crazy they open. Nah, nah, nah. I have something much better. What if we just played a deck where we just have a billion hand traps, and you know I have these hand traps, but what will you be able to do about it, right? So we'll need 2 copies of Driver, and it doesn't really show anything else here, huh? So we'll grab Frame Lord Omega, Zeta. We'll need copies of, well, I guess 1 Epsilon is good, and then we'll want 3 Delta, I guess. And yeah, we're vibing. We're absolutely cruising here. Frame Accelerator. What even is this? Smash it until your next standby phase. You have to pay life points for this. Once returned, if another face-up Frame card you control leaves the field, you can special summon a Frame monster from your hand. That doesn't seem useful. And then Frame Circuit. I think Circuit's okay. I don't know how many copies of Circuit you actually want to run, though. Well, whatever the case. We want like 2 or 3 Driver then. Let's go 3 because we're a psychopath, I guess. Actually, no, we shouldn't. We'll go grab Multi-Threader instead. Yeah. Multi-Threader. Okay. A frame card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect. Discard this instead. This card is a graveyard special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay. So then next we actually want Frame Overload instead. This card's a 3 of, I believe. Okay. Then if we can like discard that, that's good, I guess. So this seems good. Except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. Okay. So we'll want a Foolish Burial Goods, I believe, to be able to send that. Yeah, okay. So, pretty simple idea here. We're just going to run Frame and some like hand traps to pair with this. So, idea, pretty simple here. With all of our Frame cards here, our opponent is probably going to be just suffering because they know I have like a billion hand traps, but what are you going to do about it? Pretty simple, and my opponent will see my entire hand, and they'll have to be pretty mortified having to play into Frame. Because you know I can't do anything if you don't do anything, but at the same time, if you don't do anything, you're not playing the game. Now, having full knowledge that your opponent is playing Frame and being unable to do anything about it, now I think that's kind of evil. So I'm pretty interested in this. And because I have Frames are some of the most powerful hand traps just in general. So yeah, what are you going to be able to do against Frame Gear Gamma? What are you gonna do? Hit me with Called By? Imperm? Nah. And we're pretty strong in the mind games here because we know our opponent probably isn't going to play triple tactics, talent, or thrust because the fact that you know that I know that you know that I know that you have triple tactics talents, and that means that you know that I know that I probably wouldn't play into it. So if I had some sort of back row instead, I could just use that at, during certain timings, and you would be completely cooked. So pretty simple there. And I guess we'll throw in 1 more Lambda actually, just to be on the safer side. And relayed cards real quick, checking. Okay, we're good, I think. I don't think there's any other super good Frame kind of ish related cards, so we're fine in that regard. So yeah, I guess we could start running some hand traps, like anti-hand trap cards, and throwing in some more hand traps like Held by, Ash Blossom. Yeah, we'll just go with this, and we can throw in Imperm as well. Because Imperm's just good in general. And we can just build up some advantage. So, interestingly enough, there is a Paleo card that allows us to target a match card, return it to the graveyard, which I am a little bit interested in. Because we would be able to return like Cyframe Overload, which is neat, but I don't think that's super worth the investment. Paleozoic Dynamiscus I won't be able to use really well with the Overload. So the main thing I'm looking for here is just a good way to discard Overload if it is in my hand. If I want to do that, I should be able to, right? So a pretty good way to kind of play around what my opponent has. Let's see, what can we do? So one idea I have is Punk, because we have the option of like Foxy Tune. So if we start Foxy Tune, it's pretty hard for our opponent to deal with, honestly. And this does give us a way into Cyframe Circuit, so we can actually run less copies of this. So basic idea for one build is we use our Punk cards. And I think we can be pretty minimalistic about this, but whatever. And I guess Emergency Teleport's really good here because we have a lot of Psychics, and these guys are tuners as well, so we can probably do something good with these guys. So we'll go like this, I guess. 3 of these, and I'll make the adjustments in a bit. So we'll run one of these, one of each of these, Madam Spydor, Wagon, and that should be good enough, I guess, right? Emergency Teleport. And I guess we'll try one Deer Note. But I mean, 2 Deer Notes, honestly, not that bad. Just straight up. So, next, we can do Ancient Fairy Dragon. And this is level 7, and it's 1 level 4 lower monster, or hand. So then we can pair this with Baron, which is pretty easy to do, I guess. And then we have the option of making Lambda. But the main thing I want to look for is this: if a face-up psychic monster you control is banished face up while you control this monster. So perhaps we can do Psychic and Punisher, I guess, and that'll be at least one way to do this. If we wanted to do this on the first turn, it's actually pretty rough. How would we banish someone? Is this your opponent's card? And one card your opponent controls? Yes. Because otherwise I would consider banishing something like a Xiamen on my field to then banish the Extreme Session or something. Something like that, you know. That's not that bad of an idea. Let's grab Draco Berserker, I believe is good. And then maybe Chinging is okay as well. What else are we missing? Alright. Whatchamacallit? Star XL Synchro Stardust Dragon is good as well. For this, we might want a Stardust Dragon. That's worth considering. I guess for the specific play I want to be making, it's probably not that important. But having the option to make this is always good, I guess. And running out of search targets is actually kind of bad. And we do have like a lot of bricks actually, so it's not that bad to run more copies of these guys. Alright. So this is pretty solid. And then if we just want some extra bodies, we could do Terratop, I guess, which is not that bad. Third top helps us make like a rank 3, I guess. Or Cherubini if we want to go that route, but yeah, it's fine. I don't think there's an easy way to make like a rank 4. If we did have a good way to make a rank 4, that would allow us to go Redoer to trigger the Lambda, which is actually pretty good. So, no good way to do that, I guess, but it is what it is, so we'll throw that in. So, that this will just allow us to really easily, hopefully, get into the Lambda, like really quick, so we can just do Tear Top and Takatumborg, and then we can make Lambda, and this will insulate our plays a little bit. If we want to try for that, I guess that's fine. Any other ideas? No, I don't really have any. So that should be solid. And the last thing we should do, just in case, is if we may need to make a Synchro 9, I believe, right? Can we make Synchro 9? Yes, with Ancient Fairy Dragon. Okay. So this, and then we'll adjust the extra dark to fit in Zeus, I guess. So this can't be made because this is not a dark dragon synchro, unless we make it a dark dragon, which I mean we're not gonna. But we could, and we won't. So we'll just throw in Shen Shen because that's the most annoying card I see here. And it makes some sense to play Shen Shen, you know. Shen Shen can put our cards back, specifically the Overload. And the recycling aspect on this is pretty interesting, I guess. This doesn't return to the graveyard, does it? It returns to the deck, I think? Or does it? Turn 1 banish monster to the owner's graveyard. Oh wait, this is banished monster to the graveyard? Is that even that useful? Hmm. It's a maybe, honestly. But we'll just keep it for the time being, and then we'll just Breaksword Zeus? Sure. We could do Dannard as well if we're feeling it. Instead of running this. I think that's probably what I'll do. And then let's see what we can cut here. So all of these guys feel like pretty necessary, aside from maybe the Changing. So we could run SP instead, but I don't think we actually need SP, so we're actually probably pretty good with just this. So this is pretty simply just going to be Punk Cyframe, I guess. And we'll probably adjust the entire build in the future, just to see if we can fit like Redoer to trigger the Lambda with Redoer. Because then we'll be able to like add Gamma with the Lambda. And I don't really know of any other like psychic cards that can banish themselves. Specifically has to be banished face up, so if we were to make, for example, a Rise Heart and then banish one of our own cards, that doesn't work. So pretty whack to think about, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah. I guess there is some synergy between like the Cyframe cards, specifically if we were to open Gamma and like, and then Time Thief, what you call it? Time Thief Retro something, or no, Regulator. Well, at least I had the first letter right. Time Thief Regulator tributes itself, and then Gamma is activatable, so you can't ash this. So that's kind of cool, I guess, but it doesn't work against infinite impermanence, so bit awkward, but yeah. That's all I got for you guys today, and hopefully this would be really annoying to play against, and I'll have to consider other options. One other idea might be to perhaps make Curious or Beatrice to dump copies of Cyframe Overload, and there's no hard ones return on this, right? No, there's not. Well, okay, yeah. Both effects are honestly good on this card. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.